Settlement building is a big reason why I find Fallout 4 so replayable. Not only does scavenging for resources make a lot of the map feel worth exploring to some extent, but the mere act of building is just weirdly engaging, and despite the, let's call it, inelegant system we have to work with, it can be really satisfying to pull off a good build. Not just making sure that the settlers who will call your town their home have their basic needs met, but in making sure they have access to recreational facilities, to medicine, to creature comforts that many wastelanders would simply not have as an option. Trying to find the best way to build a functional and comfortable town for a people to call their own. It's what keeps me coming back. This also has the added benefit of adding some actually interesting settlements to a game that otherwise feels severely lacking in such. I mean, Diamond City is fine as a location, it's the most built up and unique settlement in the Commonwealth, but it loses its appeal to me rather fast. Like, after I've done the 2 or 3 main story things that require me to be in Diamond City, it just becomes one of those places I come to purchase material shipments. I actually couldn't think of another settlement to use as an example leading into this line. Most settlements in the game are left so intentionally unfinished because Bethesda wanted the player to do the work for them. Sorry, that was hopefully cynical of me, but it sure does feel that way after I discover my 5th basic underdeveloped farm in a row. Look, I really enjoy building Bethesda, but you know what else I enjoy in a big open world RPG? Actually finding shit. Bunker Hill, there's another one, although its main claim to fame is that you go there to unlock a caravan trading post. At least that's the only reason I ever go there. Also the fact that it's where one of the worst quests in the game takes place, but let's move on from this segment because this isn't meant to be a review of Bethesda's incompetence at designing and playtesting. Good Neighbor, there's another one that I tend to forget about because after you do the one story thing there, it's actually just really easy to completely ignore for the rest of your game. I mean, maybe you'll go there if you need to buy something or if you want to do the Silver Shroud mission, which was... yeah, it was alright. Sorry, seriously, we're gonna move on now. Spectacle Island is a really good location for a settlement build. It's out of the way, so even if you make the mistake of progressing the game past the first act, you likely won't have to deal with crashing helicopters every 5 minutes. It's got a huge amount of lumber and steel to make use of, and it boasts probably the largest build area in the base game. I have never reached a build limit when building here. I came close on this last one, but even then I probably could erect 2 entire fully decorated structures and still have some wiggle room. So this is where I built my latest time sink. Let me now take you on a tour of my Fallout 4 Spectacle Island settlement, and I apologise for the upcoming dip in audio quality. I record the other bit on my phone because I can't be asked to move my laptop into the game room. I'm not a professional. So, we are starting our settlement tour in my home. I've claimed one of the flats I built as a space for me to live in because I like this town and I want it to be my hometown. Like a lot of the stuff I build, it's not overly fancy, it's just something I try to make relatively comfortable. I've got a suitcase under the bed for storing all my stuff. I've got my bobblehead shelves, that's from the home decor pack. I prefer it to the big bobblehead stand because it takes up less space. Got Kellogg's pistol there. I killed Kellogg. No big deal. It really wasn't any big deal. I hit him 3 times with my sword and he died. This fantasy hero sword is like stupidly overpowered, and I've only upgraded it once. Anywho, this isn't about swords. As you can see, I've got a nice little kitchen going on here, and all of my flats that I've built here have bathrooms. It's not mechanically necessary, the settlers will never use it, but it's just something I think ties it all together. So let's get on with the tour, let's go outside. We're not going to visit every single flat, but there is one in here I kind of want to show off. Let's just call the elevator, because I can't be asked to walk down the stairs. Building this elevator was a bitch, because it just wouldn't collide properly with the area I needed it to. And, well, Fallout 4's build engine just ain't great. Either way, let's quickly pop in here. This is where the gun seller lives. I'm just happy with this one, because it kind of looks minimalist, and we got a couple of banners here, sneakily suggesting they may have been a Brotherhood of Steel member in their past. Again, it's just the rest of it is just a flat. I don't know why I'm weirdly proud of this one, it's just sometimes you add a little detail to something that you really like. I don't know, maybe you other neurodivergents out there will understand why this was something I enjoyed a lot more. Anyway, let's go this way. I'm a snake. Right, out we go. We'll quickly turn around to take in the full glory of my 4-story flat building with the elevator. I had to put a different roof over the elevator, which kind of annoys me. You can only really see it at a distance, it's not a big deal. Before we press on, let's say hello to one of our guards. How you doing, friendo? As you can see, they are wearing the Assault Marine armour from Far Harbour. I know some people think it looks ugly, but I actually kind of like it. There's something about it that appeals to me, but then I do like weird stuff. It just looks very unique, I find. Like, Don't get me wrong, it doesn't really go with most weapons in the base game, like they all look really out of place being held by this suit. But it doesn't matter too much because I didn't give any of these guys... Well, I gave one of them a base game weapon, but like, only one. This one I'm pretty sure has a Manuel rifle. Manuel rifle, there it is, see? I think that kind of works. It's minimalist enough to not clash with the rest of it. Also, the Manuel rifles are just stupidly good weapons. Anyway, let's begin the tour proper. I say begin the tour proper, we're already touring. As you can see, I used the warehouse foundations to sort of make, like, paths, and to, you know, I've leveled things differently, like, I've got different heights going on here, because I thought it looked better. Well, I say looked better, I thought it looked better for a post-war wasteland settlement where people have just sort of put together what they can to get the best effect. Over here, we've sort of copied the Starlight Drive-In thing that I did last time, where we've basically got the foundations acting as a wall. We've got another guard coming, and they have an anti-material rifle, which I think is a really cool rifle, although it's stupidly long. Here's one of the farming houses. It's actually the least interesting of the two. It's just got the bare necessities inside, there's no decoration. But, you know, they have got a bathroom. The farm itself is mostly mute potato and corn for adhesive, because that, like, adhesive is something I really like to use a lot of, because all of my settlers have custom weapons. Because after a while, if you're just playing the base game, you won't need a lot of adhesive. Once you've got the best set of armour upgraded to the best it can be and the best weapon, you don't need to really change anything. But yeah, as you can see, from here we got a lot going on. There's a lot of power running through this settlement. We got 3 water pumps just there pulling water out the ground, because I just don't like using the industrial water pump over the ocean. I don't think anything I could build in the post-war would be able to desalinate ocean water. Admittedly, I shouldn't be able to build any of this. Like, I'm a lawyer. But this is the other farmhouse. Let's have a quick peek inside. So it's got a bit more decoration. It's got a counter, some plants, a mounted radstag head, a sofa, and of course, the bathroom. I know it's a very basic bathroom, they all look the same. I'm not going to keep showing off the bathrooms. I think only one of them is missing a bath because I ran out of ceramic and still can't be asked to get any more. For my security needs, we've got occasional booths as well as the guard posts. Basically, I thought, what if the security guards need to take a load off and sit down for a bit? This way they can do that and still kind of have a security thing going on. And the security people's house is this one. There's nothing fancy about it. It is literally just a shed. Not even a base, a shed that they sleep in, but it's got a sort of military aesthetic with the beds and footlockers. Before we go this way, actually, let's go back this way and quickly just look at the cutting bar, a simple hairdressing salon with one hairdresser, some lighthouse paintings, a boat, and a cat. Again, nothing fancy. I know I say nothing fancy a lot. I recognise that a lot of what I built doesn't come across as really fancy. I just try to make it look like it could be built in the post-war, even if it does stretch the imagination a little bit. Let's go down this way real quick. We've got some picnic tables, the recruitment beacon, which I've turned off, but I haven't scrapped. Usually I scrap it when I've got everyone, but I just want to keep it available in case. You might wonder why I always put lights on the corners here, mostly because I imagine at night walking around this sort of place would be kind of risky. And just having these lights show you where the corners are feels safe to me. Or I just kind of like how it looks. Could be either. Since we're facing the clinic, we'll look at the clinic real quick. It's a clinic, would you believe that? Inside we've got our doctor. Hello, handsome ghoul fella. It's okay, we don't need anything. He's got a microscope and a biometric scanner and a tray. A whole chemistry station, something telling you to clean your hands, although I forgot to give him an actual... Well, that's a sink. No, he's got a sink, he doesn't need an extra sink. I'll close that door real quick. Let's quickly pop upstairs and have a poke our head into his bedroom. Very simple, but relatively comfortable. Nice rug there. I really wish we had a clean version of these beds, because I like how this bed looks, I just don't like how dirty it always is. And of course, bathroom. That bath is clipping through that door. I put the door on the wrong way round. You know, it doesn't matter. You get the gist. It's not like he'd have it open whilst he was taking a bath. So let's head out this way and mosey on over to the shop just across the road, which is Deadly Sales, where you can buy armour and weapons. I should have called this the bunker as well, because it looks more like a bunker. We could have franchised, but I didn't think of that. In we go. As you can see, we've got a suit of power armour here as a sort of decoration. I took the fusion core out of it to stop people just randomly getting in it. I did see if I could assign them to it by putting a core back into it and then telling them to go, but it wouldn't let me. Why won't you let me do that, Fallout 4? As you can see, we've got some armour displays here. They're both Far Harbour themed, but we've got a trapper set with one leather leg. I forgot where I put the rest of the trapper set and couldn't be asked to go back to the island to get more. And we got, I think that's Child of Atom Zealot set, but I can't remember if that's the Senate or the Inquisitor set. It doesn't really matter, they both look the same. But still, I think it looks rather nifty. We got 2 pieces of armour in the display case. There's supposed to be a third, but again, I feel like it just clips through if you put it too far this way. It doesn't matter too much. And yeah, we got the armour seller in his combat armour with a nice, like, fiery red paint job. Well, that's more of a red hot rod paint job. That's what I was desperately trying to say. And then we got the weapon seller, who might look very unassuming, but she has got a Deathclaw head mounted over her, so I think we don't want to fuck with her. I mean, the weapons behind her should also state that we don't fuck with her, but either way, Deathclaw head, tough lady, mole rat. This is where I put the main workbenches because it makes sense to me to put it all in the right place. Anyway, that's that done, let's pop out. If we pop around this corner real quick, once again we've got a security hut, there's another one somewhere else, and, well, it's just a security hut. And here we've got our nice clothing shop, with our clove seller who's wearing Lorenzo's suit from the Cabot House quest. I've put some more furniture in this shop compared to the one in Starlight. I tried to keep it all relatively clothing themed, but there are plants, because I like the plants. I wish the base game just let you build plants. I also wish they didn't have a happiness effect, because it feels like I'm cheating when I use it, but I like how they look. Got a few displays here, nothing fancy, but hey, I think they look nice. We've got one Wastelander outfit amongst the relatively normal outfits. One of these things is not like the other. But with that done, we can pop out, and I think next we'll head to Jack's Junk, because I can see it from here. We'll take a quick aside to mention that getting the Assault Marine armour for 3 separate settlers was a pain. Not the actual getting it, actually. That was easy, I just went and bought it, but it takes like 24 pieces of leather to upgrade it to the best version of itself for the chest piece alone, so that was fun. But hey, let's pop up to Jack's Junk now. It's a junk shop, would you believe that? But, you know, we'll wait until we're inside before I say that sort of thing. It's got a sales sign. We don't need a basket, we're just browsing. Here's Jack the Ghoul. Sometimes I nickname the settlers, not always, but sometimes. I've called this one Jack for some reason. I just felt like she was Jack. Okay, the sign came first and the trader came later, that's usually how it goes. But hey, very simple. Not a lot to say. Although, there is a little kitty cat here. I like to get cats for settlements, I just think it adds, well, it's another flavour adder. Their bedroom is through here. They've left the door open to their bathroom, although there's no bath, so it might be a protest because I forgot to put a bath in before I ran out of ceramic. I could just buy ceramic from her, but I can't be bothered to do that right now. I'll do it in a little while. I'm sorry, Jack, you'll have to go without a bath. It's not like anyone in this settlement place is actually bathing. You're fine. Right, I think next we'll look at Hungry House, our premier eating establishment, which, again, it uses the coffee and donuts pack for the windows, the doors, the awnings. I really wish the base game had stuff like this, I do. Let's have a mosey on in here. That works. So we got our bartender with the chef hat and the checkered shirt. We've got a nice selection of drinks behind him. They've actually been here for a long time and he hasn't knocked them over yet. I'm very impressed. Obviously we've got a fridge, a cooker, some posters, and this is where I put the donut stuff, the coffee making machine and the donut making machine, because it's a food place, it makes sense. I've just realised that light is not on. I don't think I finished fully wiring everything before I got annoyed and thought I just want to show this off now. But as you can see, we've got a jukebox, we got some booths, we got a Nuka-Cola machine, more booths, and some posters to add some flavour to the walls. If we leave this place and quickly look above, there are more flats, that's where some of the people live. We'll poke our head into a couple of those just to sort of show off them. They're very similar in layout to the other ones, but hey ho, it's always worth having a look. Yeah, see, again, it's nothing overly spectacular, just relatively comfortable. And of course, bathroom. Where's the toilet? There it is. Bathroom. Let's go up one more. Well, not one more. We'll go to the very top one, because that's where we get the best view of the town from. Doop 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 doo. That's what climbing the stairs sounds like. Doop 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 doo. In here we go. Oh yeah, I put a crib in this one just for some flavour. Not that there are actually babies outside of the terrifying animatronic-looking one you get when you start, but hey, there's the town from here. It's a nice-looking town, I think. Well, relatively nice for a wasteland settlement. But hey, look, you can see the Pridwin, that big eyesore in the distance. But hey, I'm quite happy with how this all came out. I think there's one other thing I wanted to show off before we end this, and I've just remembered what it was. Well, I say one more thing, there's a couple of things we'll show off, because hey, I enjoy touring settlements and I want you to stay here longer. First of all, as we climb down, let's say hello to our final guard, wherever they are. Oh, there she is. Hello, final guard. How you doing? She's got a Gauss rifle. I was going to give her the prototype one from the Creation Club, but I forgot where I put it for ages, and I just couldn't find anyone selling another one, so she doesn't have that. See, I think it's a relatively solid look. I also just kind of like the big bulky Gauss rifle, even though I think Fallout 3's one looks better. This is the sort of a workshop shed, where I've got a couple of crafting benches, the fusion generator, the population control terminal, and another set of power armor that I found. T51 winterized, I made it. That one I painted. I didn't paint the one in the other shop because I couldn't decide what paint job I wanted. Speaking of my power needs, that fusion generator probably wasn't necessary because that boat produces some power and I could have just wired it, but I forgot all about that. This settlement, it doesn't even use the full 100 power that creates because thanks to me going to Nuka World, I have these lights to play with, which don't need to be directly connected to the power, and don't use a unit of power each. They just need to be near power and they work, which is a lot better than having to manually wire a bunch of streetlights together. It looks less ugly. I mean, they still look kind of out of place, but I can sort of forgive the out of place look because it is a wasteland settlement. Anyway, the final thing I actually wanted to show off in my big old settlement here is the trading post where the traders from the mainland come in. It's a comfy enough little shed. You got some sofas. A Brahmin is not supposed to be in here, but yeah, it's Fallout. You take what you can get. As you can see, just some seating. Plenty of seating actually. I can have multiple traders here at a time because of this. And we got some magazines for them to enjoy. 3 copies of the same Robco fun because honestly, I kept going back to Valentine's Detective Agency and it kept respawning. They've got a nice defense turret out here. There's the actual trading thing itself. I used the scaffolding ramps here. I wish they would snap to things more effectively, but, you know, it works. You can make it over that. And we've got a lot of Brahmin just trying desperately to fit into a space, even though there's, like, plenty of space. One of the caravan guards is stuck in the floor. But hey, that is my Spectacle Island settlement. I'm very happy with it. It took a while. I won't say how long, like with the last time, mostly because I haven't checked my save file recently, but this playthrough is now more than double what it was, you know? But hey, very happy with how all this came out, so you can see the different roof on my original block of flats from here. But hey, it's a good settlement. I'm very pleased with it. It took a lot of resources. There were a lot of trees on this island. There aren't any more. I'm the worst thing to happen to nature since the nuclear war itself. But anyway, let me know what you thought in the comments. Did you like this settlement? Has it inspired ideas in you? Do you think it's crap and just want to tell me it's crap? I also accept that. I have no self-esteem. Or of course, if you do just want to tell me it's amazing and that I am basically the god of Fallout, you can tell me that. I mean, you're wrong. I lost my god trousers. They got lost in the wash. I'm joking. I got my license revoked. I wasn't enough of a psychopath to be a god. No, but seriously, I really do hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you thought, and I never know how to end this sort of video, so I'm just gonna make a noise, and then we'll be done.